Vikingulven. It's a 2022 Norwegian horror thriller. Thale is a 17-year-old girl who moves with her family from Oslo to a small town where her mother gets a new job with the local police. After a student is brutally murdered during a party Thale was attending, she becomes a key witness, and something more. Plot. During a Viking raid on a monastery in Normandy in 1050, the raiding party discovered a wolf pup behind a locked door, which they believed contained treasure. As compensation for the lost gold and silver, the Vikings took the pup to Norway. By the time the ship reached the Norwegian coast, all the Vikings had been wiped out by the wolf, who escaped into the Norwegian wilds. Meanwhile, in the present-day Norwegian town of Nybo, 17-year-old Thaleberg has recently moved into her new home with her family after her mother, Liv, transferred from her old job as a police officer in Oslo to the local Nybo police force following the death of her ex-husband. Thale partly blames her mother for her father's death and does not get along with her stepfather, Arthur. The only person she remains close to and cares about is her deaf younger sister, Jenny. While watching a horror movie with her, Thale receives a text from her high school friend Jonas Larsson, inviting her to a party in the woods near the bay with the other Nybo youth. Things do not go well at the party and Thale decides to leave early when she sees Jonas talking to Ellen Gran, the daughter of the local mayor, in the woods by the bay. During their talk, Ellen is attacked by a creature in the darkness and is injured. As Jonas backs away in fear, Thale tries to help Ellen only to be injured when the beast slashes her shoulder. Ellen is dragged screaming into the woods and local police and paramedics appear on the scene. While Jonas and Thale are treated, the police force, including Liv, and police chief Eilert Sundas, search for Ellen, finding only a bloody phone and a large, torn-off claw. The next day, all the people who attended the party, including Jonas and Thale as key eyewitnesses, are questioned by the police. However, they claim to not know what kind of beast attacked them despite Liv's suspicion that the beast could have been a wolf. Meanwhile, Ellen's mutilated body is found and undergoes an autopsy. The autopsy reveals that a large beast was responsible for the attack. However, it could not be determined whether it was a wolf or not. To be on the safe side, the police force enlists the help of an expert from the veterinary college, William Nordvag. But before she can arrive, a mysterious one-armed man named Lars Broden visits the police station and claims to Liv that the beast is a werewolf he has been tracking all his life across Scandinavia. Liv does not believe the man and calls his claims disrespectful to the victim and her family before sending him away. And of course, denialism is always better than doubt, but also, like believing in a mythological being, perpetuating beliefs from humanity's dark ages, which have served to eliminate innocent people in the past, is also better. But I insist, denialism reigns. You can't believe a werewolf has appeared, but you also can't deny that a wolf is attacking people, despite the evidence. You have to make sure by spending time going to an expert to certify what you see with the naked eye. Let's continue with the story. The man leaves, but not before giving her a silver bullet and telling her it is the only thing that can kill the beast. Following the arrival of the veterinarian and his conclusion that the killer beast might be an unusually large wolf based on the victim's injuries and the claw found at the scene, the victim's mother and mayor of Nybo, Tove Gran, vows revenge against the beast and sends a hunting party to kill it. As the hunting party, led by Liv and Eilert, scours the woods with the aid of a sniffer dog, Thale begins to have strange dreams and visions as her senses become more acute. At one point, Jenny discovers that Thale had been sleepwalking and takes her to the house, where Thale comments that he feels like he hasn't slept in days. Meanwhile, the hunting party locates a decapitated carcass and determines it to be the work of the beast. Liv orders two hunters to stay behind and guard the body while she and the rest of the group move forward following their sniffer dog. The group is led to an abandoned mine, and Liv enters. Descending the mine, she finds the missing head from the body they found earlier. At the same time, the beast attacks the two hunters and the dog who had been left near the body, killing them both along with the dog. The group hears its screams. Before they can react, the beast catches up to them and kills two more members of the hunting party and seriously wounds Eilert. As Liv made her way out of the mine, she stumbled upon the beast, now a large, mangy wolf, at the top of the ladder. The wolf lunged at her, causing her to fall down the mineshaft and fracture her wrist. The wolf stalked her as she crawled, prompting Liv to grab her gun and shoot at it, hitting it several times to no avail. Out of ammunition, Liv was at the wolf's mercy until she remembered the silver bullet Lars gave her. She loaded it into her gun and fired just as the wolf lunged at her. Liv and Eilert are taken to the hospital, where a cast is placed on Eilert's wrist and it is revealed that he is in a coma. William examines the wolf's body and reveals to Liv that the lead bullet she fired did not harm it, despite hitting it in the heart and lungs. It is later revealed that the only fatal wound the wolf suffered was the silver bullet she fired, leading Liv to believe that they have indeed encountered a werewolf. Believing the nightmare is over, Mayor Tove gives a press release alongside Liv, guaranteeing the town's safety in the wake of the beast's death. Meanwhile, Thale continues to experience the strange events along with the guilt she feels for not being able to save Ellen. At night, she receives a message from Jonas inviting her to a lookout point with him. At the lookout point, Jonas and Thale are ready to move on from their encounter with the beast after its death and kiss, but are interrupted by a call from Jonas's father. While they are on the phone, the full moon transforms Thale into a more animal-like version of herself, with sharp teeth and animal instincts. Before she can warn Jonas, she loses control and kills him. One good thing about this story is that the transformation is irreversible, and its final destination is a canine, that is, a large dog. But above all, the loss of consciousness and humanity, I think, is brilliant. Now, it becomes a predator seeking only its own survival and survival. After the discovery of Jonas's remains, the coroner concludes that the injuries he suffered are similar to Ellen's, albeit caused by a smaller animal. This discovery prompts Liv to visit Lars, who reveals that once a human transforms into a werewolf, they lose their humanity and thirst for human blood, and that the only way to end the curse is to kill the entire werewolf bloodline. Lars then visits the hospital and discovers that Eilert has been infected by the beast, so he disables his life support system before leaving. Thale wakes up in a shed near her home. Realizing what she has done, she decides to flee to Oslo on a night bus. While on the bus, a full moon breaks through the clouds and transforms Thale into a full werewolf just as the bus enters a tunnel. Thale attacks the other passengers on the bus, which ends up crashing in the tunnel. Liv arrives on the scene first and stumbles upon the survivors of the bus crash, who tell her that a wolf attacked them. By the time Liv reaches the bus, the wolf has already left, leaving the carnage behind. During her search, Liv stumbles upon her daughter's torn clothes and jewelry. At the same time, William arrives on the scene, informing Liv that after analyzing the wolf's body, he had found that it contained human DNA in its system, confirming that they were dealing with a real werewolf. This convinces Liv that her daughter has now become the new werewolf. Thale, fully transformed, returns home and approaches Jenny, lunging at her just as she notices his presence. However, they both recognize each other, mainly due to Thale's heterochromia, which calms him down. Arthur then appears by chance and fights Thale with a lamp before taking Jenny in his van and speeding off towards the town center, with Thale in pursuit. However, Arthur is bleeding profusely from an injury and passes out at the wheel, causing them to crash off a bridge near a crowded pub. He signals to Jenny to run just as the crowd approaches the crashed van to help them, and just as Thale arrives. Thale goes on a killing spree, attacking several people near the pub before Liv and William arrive. Jenny attempts to calm her sister by signaling that she will look after her, which initially seems to work, but William interferes and shoots Thale with a tranquilizer dart. Liv grabs Jenny and the three of them run into an empty shop that is under construction. As they struggle to keep Thale out, Liv orders Jenny to hide behind the counter. Just then, Lars arrives in his camper van and smashes the shop front in an attempt to hit Thale. Liv, William and Lars are injured in the crash and an unharmed Thale enters the shop, killing Lars and attacking Liv. Liv holds Thale at bay by using her wrist cast to protect her arm while Thale bites it and orders an injured William to shoot her again with a tranquilizer dart. Seeing that William cannot comply with the request, Jenny takes the dart and stabs it into her sister's side, ending the attack. Still in her werewolf form, Thale remains unconscious at the veterinary clinic. Liv visits her and loads a silver bullet into her gun, pointing it at Thale's neck as she loses her composure and looks away. The film ends with Liv arriving home and placing the silver bullet next to a photo of Thale on her nightstand. It's unclear whether Liv freed Thale from her suffering and cleaned the silver bullet afterward, or if she released her far from civilization. Comments. I liked the film. I know it has positive reviews on a well-known website, but in my opinion, it's a fresh story that renews the werewolf myth. That's what's needed, stories from another perspective, from other cultures and points of view. In my opinion, in the end, Liv will do the right thing, as a mother, of course. Not as a police officer. That's all from me, bye.